What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Gumby and the Goobers. We are back. Brian, how you doing?
I am doing well. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back in the draft streets. I have never done a big board, a little board, a big bird, or a little bird, but I'm excited to learn about these rookies, about the way that almost this is almost like a preview for like what BBM 6 is going to be. So I'm kind of looking at it as a dry run to just get some experience about how to build out these teams and where the non-rookies are going, and try to figure out like the most optimal roster construction, as it relates to BBM 6. So how are you?
Pretty good. I've done one big board so far. I did it on the first day it came out, and after round 6, I got bored, so I pushed the plane. So that's where I'm at.
Nice.
I'm only here so we can do some playoff best ball in NBA. That's we're the NFL. We just have to get through it. Just have to grind through it, learn some rookies, whatever, and then we can draft the real God's game, NBA playoff best ball.
Did you want to start with the NBA playoff best ball, or do you want to do a big board?
Now let's do a big board first, and then we can discuss our off season. Let me hop in. I don't know how long these take to fill because, like I said, I just did the one on the first day, which insta-filled.
Right. Well, if you guys want some free alpha, feel free to join the big board. That is where we will be. But before we jump in, or I guess before the draft starts, I should say, I just want to give a quick shout out to someone who will not be named. Waiting for 9, by the way, in the big board if you guys wanted to draft with us. Funny enough, and I mentioned this to Eric, but I haven't really talked to him about it much, other than just a quick text exchange. I was hosting an event I was the MC for an event that my company hosted virtually a couple days ago, and somebody from my company recognized me and messaged me off to the side during the event, saying that he was a big fan of the Goobers and that he enjoyed the podcast and really liked the content. So I couldn't believe that in a company that there's only a few hundred people, one other person randomly in the world that watches this channel also worked at my company. So pretty funny, very small world moment, and honestly made me kind of feel like a celebrity. So shout out to you. We'll not mention the name, but appreciate your support. Yeah, we're slowly becoming, nationwide, I'll say, coast to coast, if you will.
Many people are calling us A-list celebrities. I would never say that, but other people are saying that.
No, I was calling myself that right after I saw the message.
Respect. So you've done a bunch of, what have you done? Little boards?
I did. Yeah, I've done 2 little boards so far. Just 2.
What are your thoughts on ADP?
Well, I mean, high level quarterbacks are going very early, like almost uncomfortably early. Like if you don't take a quarterback at least one by like round 8, you're gonna just be stuck with like a Tua and a CJ Stroud and Jackson Dart. Like those are gonna be the guys. So quarterback. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong?
I mean, I don't know.
Anthony Richardson 140s. Sign me up.
Yeah, okay. Anthony Richardson's a good one, and so is Bryce Young. But like all these guys, a lot of their ADP is fake, at least from what I've seen in the 2 that I've done, where like they're going in most likely double digit ADP, which is surprising. I think the rookies are interesting. I really, really like 2 guys in particular, both on the same team. Do you know anything about the rookies, Eric, or are all these just names to you right now?
Like the popular ones a little bit.
Who are some of the pop? I'm just curious in your world who the popular ones are besides like Genty.
Quarterbacks, Genty's like quarterbacks like Cam Ward,
Shador,
and then Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, he's gonna rise when he gets picked in the first round. Everyone's like, oh, early second, he's gonna get picked in the first round. We know how quarterbacks go.
Yep.
Let's see. Genty, obviously. I don't know who this guy is. I think this guy, Travion Henderson, was an Ohio State guy.
He was Ohio State. Yeah.
Caleb Johnson was like Kansas State or Oklahoma State, one of those middle. Judkins, was he another Ohio State guy?
He was a transfer from Ole Miss that went to Ohio State last year. He actually scored 3 touchdowns in the championship game against Notre Dame.
Wow, I'm surprised how quick this filled.
Worldwide domination from the Goobers.
Yeah. Kim Scattaboo, I know him. He was a small school guy.
Arizona State.
Ollie Gordon, wow, he was like the 101 in like every college football slate. I don't know, that's weird.
Really? Oh, that I did not know.
Well, every college football slate that I played, which was the first 3 weeks.
Gotcha. Then you got Tet McMillan, who's the wide receiver 1, going in like the 40s.
People smarter than me really, really like Luther Burden, so probably someone I want to target.
Luther Burden is the popular one.
Wow, this is wild to see Ayuk and Jennings right next to each other.
Well, there was a report that came out a couple days ago that Ayuk is not looking to be ready for week 1, which I know it's a week 17 game. ACL torn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's more interesting then. So
right. Look at if you think that's interesting. Look at where Pearsall's going 5 spots later.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All from 1 game, and I got to tell you, I like Pearsall.
I figured you did.
I did.
What do you think about Travis Hunter? 125.
He's an interesting one just because like people know that he's going in as like a cornerback or whatever. I still think he's going to play like he's going to try to do some 2-way, but there's no way he's going to do 100% one or the other. I don't think. I think it'll be like 80% defensive back, 20% offense.
What do you want to do here? Any strong takes? I'm fine going down the board because like it's not that efficient yet. So whatever you want.
I think getting a top tier wide receiver is more important than Bijan and Gibbs. You'll get some good running backs on the turn. You'll get like a Jonathan Taylor on the way back. So I personally would go Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Do you think Barkley should be the 101? Is he the 101?
Barkley and Chase are. I've seen it both ways. Oh, it looks like Barkley. I guess is now more than
Chase
2.
Flipped him.
Right. I think we're living in the world where people look at last year's results and try to extrapolate them and expect them to happen again. Which, how often, other than like McCaffrey, can you in those couple of years where he was just unbelievable, how often can you just say like this guy's going to be the 101 2 years in a row? I don't know. I like, to me, we talked your point for those that missed our last pre-recorded video where we talked about the lessons learned in best ball. Your 1 point can be applied here as well. If you're drafting Barkley at the 101 or 102, you're essentially drafting him at his like 95th percentile outcome, 100% healthy season. Will Shipley doesn't get a bigger role. They don't draft another running back. They don't try to preserve him more for the playoffs. Like you're like, he had, I think 13 touchdowns, which sounds like a lot, but like there were 4 other running backs that had more touchdowns than him. He was just so efficient on the ground. Like he just had like 1 or 2 60-yard runs essentially every game that just boosted up his stats.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Fun fact. This is a very fun fact for Giants fans. The Giants running backs had more rushing yards this year than last year with Saquon. Interesting. Really makes you think. A lot to think about there.
That is interesting. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. Oh, every bad stat about Saquon Barkley, it's up here. It's stored. I got them saved up.
So look at this run of just
Brian
straight
Thomas.
wide receivers.
Is that where he's going? Is that his ADP?
Yeah, he's 11-12.
Wow.
Worst pick on the board.
No, I don't think so at all. I think he's.
Me. It pains me. I've been beating the Brian Thomas drum since before last season started, and him going at the 1-2 turn is the worst pick on the board right now.
That's crazy.
Why, dude? His quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. They're on an offense that's going to have 25 total touchdowns this year.
1,200 yards as a rookie. Come on, you buy into that.
Half of his production came with Mac Jones.
Who cares?
Mac Jones hyper targeted him. I don't know.
They should hyper target him. He's insane.
They should, but Shane Waldron is now the passing coordinator there.
Stop it. No,
he is. I swear to God. Yes,
crazy.
He is. Liam Cohen decided to bring in him to just kind of neutralize Brian Thomas a bit.
Couldn't have him be too good. That's. Wow, he is. You're right.
Don't act surprised. I know my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just listen to what people on Twitter say about these rookies. That's all. Also, so you did send me. We were talking a little bit about this a couple of days ago. You sent me one of the teams you drafted.
Yeah,
and I think you had 1 rookie on it, and
2.
we were just talking 2 rookies, and we were just talking about how like it is important to, like especially in these, try to pick the rookies who are going to rise. If you can get like a couple guys who, let's say everyone's expecting him to be drafted in the 4th round and goes in the 2nd round. That guy's instantly going to go from like a 13th round pick to a 7th round pick.
Right.
So like trying to find those spots and just taking rookies, even if you don't know who they are, just pick them and hope they rise.
That's the spirit. There are
definitely rookie heavy. You want to go. There's definitely some. Even though rookies are going early, there is still a lot of value to be had.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from doing these type of drafts in particular is that there is exploitable value at the rookie position, at the rookie level in particular.
So what do we think here? Got JT, Bucky, Terry.
I'd probably go Jonathan Taylor here, and then you can get some good wide receivers on the way back most of the time.
You like Jonathan over Brookie or over Bucky?
I do.
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor has been nothing but when he plays and he's healthy, he's been nothing but a slate breaker.
So is Bucky.
Yeah, well, Bucky still shares time with Rachaad White, and as much as people like to shit on Rachaad White, you know what, Rachaad White is my favorite late round pick because he's still going to have a passing downs role, and he still had like 200 plus points.
Pretty sure big board winner 2 years ago had 0 rookies. Really, that's crazy. So I think the big board winner last year had 10.
Well, last year's class, as I was telling you,
yeah,
was an outlier. It will not happen again. Not this class, at least. I don't think. So
what if we get Bucky on the way back?
We could. I mean, I don't know. Do you think? Like, look how many running backs there are after this. I would probably go T.
None of these are making it back to us. Maybe Chuba.
Look at the wide receivers though, because that's who's good. That's who would. I mean, I guess there's a good amount.
Yeah, let's go Bucky.
Okay.
I was gonna say maybe Terry, but if we can't get Jaden Daniels, I'd rather just not.
Well, I've seen Daniels fall a bit when people take Terry at that spot, just because like nobody. I'm not that nobody wants Daniels, but like
if I want Daniels,
you're not going to stack him. You're not going to unstack. You're not going to have like him, Diami Brown, and Olamide Zaccheaus as the core. You know, without Terry on your team if you draft him. No, I'm not. But that's what people don't want to do.
Seemed to be optimal every week last year.
It pretty much did.
Yeah.
But to talk about some of the rookies, there are 2 of them in particular that I really, really like. They're not like outlandish picks. Like this. Let me disqualify this by saying like obviously Genti is a special player. So like I feel like I'm not going to waste anyone's time by saying him. I think the 2 guys who I think will probably, I'm not even going to say get drafted the highest because I'm not a draft expert, but I just think will perform the best from what I've seen. Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State, really, really good player. He is explosive. He is quick. He's got a very nice, like a very quick burst. So I could see him just like being an even more explosive Bucky Irving. That's honestly what reminded me watching him play. Transfer from Ole Miss, had a big role in Ohio State. He was kind of like that passing downs back for Ohio State, that third down back for Travion Henderson, who was also Ohio State guy. So I really like him as my one. If I had to pick one running back, that would be the guy. And then the guy that I like at wide receiver is I think somebody that people kind of overlook just because of the way his game is perceived.
Who?
Emeka Egbuka, also an Ohio State guy.
All right.
People assume that this guy had like a 3 or 4 what do you call it? Like a 3 or 4 yards per attempt or whatever. I can't even think of the words because I'm so out of football season. But his ADOT was very short. That's what it was. His ADOT was like 4 or 5. I watched a lot of the film the last couple of weeks of him specifically because I liked his game, and he is more of a deep threat than I think people give him credit for. So I think him in the right offense could really kind of see that like Lad McConkey type of role. That's honestly, again, some similar him, Amon-Ra, like these like big target getters that also are threats down the field.
All right, I like that. So we're coming up here soon. Probably need a wide receiver. Wow, Jameson Williams.
For sure.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I actually don't really like Tet. I know you're going to want him because he's a rookie.
Literally, as immediately as I cue him up, you say that.
I knew because I was trying to stop you because sometimes you just like paralyze me with like clicking so fast that I can't stop you from doing something.
Why don't you like him?
He's just not. He's 6'5". He's like 200 pounds. He's kind of like a bigger Devonta Smith.
That seems very good.
He's not exciting to me. I just don't know what it is. I just can't
who do you want,
like him. I don't want anyone.
He seems like the clear pick.
He's probably the right pick because I also don't like a Dunze, but I'm not excited about it. I just want it on the record.
Yeah, I mean, have you considered the fact that he had that 300-yard game with like 9 touchdowns? Did you watch that film?
I just don't think he's a special player.
Go back and watch that, and then let us know. We'll check in.
I've seen the highlights of him. I just don't think he just doesn't jump off the screen to me.
Okay, watch that game.
I will. I won't do it right now.
let's just stop the draft and just go watch it from start to finish.
So for those listening via audio, our team started with Justin Jefferson, followed by 2 running backs, Jonathan Taylor and Bucky Irving, and then Tet McMillan as our wide receiver 2. So 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers to start the draft. It's a pretty good start.
Now we're at an interesting point.
We are. It is very interesting.
I could be talked into anyone.
Well, I'm thinking we have to get wide receiver here to me.
Yeah, it's my lean as well. I was going to say Olave. That was probably my favorite. I do like DK still.
I was just about to say I like DK and I like Waddle. Those are the 2 guys out of the wide receivers I picked. DK.
I'm out. Well, I had so much Waddle last year. Guy's dead.
Yeah.
I bought into the wide receiver. I had so many wide receiver 2s that just screwed me.
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, a lot of him too.
You didn't have the right number 2 in T. Higgins, though. That's for sure.
I didn't pick him for some reason. What do you guys think of Brees? 3rd round seems like a slam dunk. What do you think, Brian?
I agree. I mean, I think last year was kind of the worst of Brees Hall, just from an efficiency point of view, and like what the constant distractions of what's going on in the Jets locker room. And honestly, I think they just kind of folded under pressure when there was expectations to actually have a meaningful run in the playoffs. So we saw that, they started to use Brees a lot more the second half of the season. First half of the season was kind of interesting. I'm wondering if he was like still nursing some sort of like knee injury that he had in the preseason.
Well, he had the ACL
right
the year before.
So I wouldn't be like Braylon Allen. I thought was going to be a smash after like week 1 or 2 against the Titans. He had those 2 touchdowns. I was like, wow, this is the end of Brees Hall. But then Brees reminded us, like, he's still a very good pass catching back. He's still a big volume guy. He's going to score touchdowns inevitably. So I think him in the 3rd round, you're not going to find maybe him and Kyron. Those are the 2 guys that I think are going to get the most volume from the running back position, and you're getting him in the 3rd round.
I think it might be more of a split than people think, but I do think like Brees is going to be more efficient at like a year removed from the ACL injury. So I don't know if I would say the 3rd round is a slam dunk, but I don't want to be underweight him.
It's just about like the way you start your team, especially if you like look at the guy who drafted him, like 2 wide receivers, like Puka, Tyreek, like, 2 very good wide receiver 1s in their own right. And then you get a guy in Brees Hall in the 3rd round who could finish as a running back 1. So you have like Puka, who's already elite, Tyreek, who's been elite other than last year, and then Brees Hall, who's a volume machine that scores a lot of touchdowns and catches the passes. So it's an interesting start and a good team, I think.
I mean, just in a vacuum, would you rather Bucky or Brees?
Probably Bucky, but it's not close, but it's very close.
What about Kyron or Brees?
Probably Brees. I think Kyron is just I think he's like good for what the Rams need, but if he scores 5 less touchdowns last year, you were going to be disappointed with Kyron. I think his spot between those 2 guys is honestly perfect.
Yeah, I think it's probably fine. I think him and Kyron are probably a coin flip, but yeah, I'm okay with it either way.
Yep. So 2 running backs, 3 receivers so far. I'm trying to look at anything obvious, anything interesting. I think there's been 4 tight ends off the board. Oh, I take back what I said, by the way. The worst pick on the board is Brock Bowers. That is by far the fact that he's at the 1-2 turn is just unfathomable to me.
I disagree.
Yeah, you will, but you can have him all you want. I will not be taking him.
Where's the next tight end going? Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I think those are both fine. Like mid-second and late second.
Look at who you're passing up on around those guys. And then look who you have to draft instead of them. We'll look at our team compared to these guys that went early tight end.
Don't look at where Travis Kelce was going 2 years ago.
Travis Kelce 2 years ago had
7.
Yeah, and he had 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't think either of that is. I don't think that's going to happen. We've seen.
Wow, this is so exciting to see these ADPs. By the way, I'm like, wow, Tyrone Tracy. That's interesting.
You like Tracy there?
He's gone.
Well, he just went.
I like Luther Burden.
You want double rookies?
Yeah. I want the 2 best wide receivers in the class who are probably going to rise when the draft happens.
Well, I mean, people are expecting Tet to go at like the 105, 106.
I think it just the way that wide receiver works in the NFL. It's usually like I'll run on a couple, so like it'll probably be like them back to back. I would assume maybe someone trades up when Tet goes because they don't want to miss out.
Yeah, I could see that. I was gonna try to talk you into Jalen McMillan and then take Emeka Egbuka, who I like as my rookie instead. I don't want 3 rookie wide receivers on this team, especially this early with this much, this heavy draft capital into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of fine though because like we still do have Justin Jefferson, who we're probably going to use his score every week anyway, especially at the beginning of the season with the rookies. So like, I don't know if it matters that much, but
I mean, I like. Oh, there goes Egg. Oh, Egbuka.
We got your guy's still here though.
He is. What do you think about Debo?
I don't really know.
Second round pick, mid second round pick last year, ADP wise. Really had like a horrible end to the season, which people can chalk up either to conditioning or pneumonia or some combination of both.
Or he just didn't care.
I mean, now he's kind of the wild card. He's like he's requested a trade from San Francisco. They told him he could, so we'll see. He's an interesting one, especially this high up.
Do you want to do Judkins?
I really like Judkins.
All right, let's do it.
So for those listening, we have a 3 running back, 3 wide receiver build so far, or 4 wide receiver build so far, excuse me. Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Quinshon Judkins, Justin Jefferson, Tet McMillan, DK Metcalf, and Luther Burden. So good balance of some younger, some older. And I like the start of like 3-4. I think that's a pretty solid start. This is where I would start looking, kind of either on like our next pick or the round after. Start looking for our first quarterback because you're going to be surprised at some of the guys that are going to be like only available for Pickens here.
This is interesting. McCarthy is 20 spots ahead of Darnold.
McCarthy's going to be the quarterback for the Vikings. No doubt about it. But Darnold is going to get it. Yeah, but Darnold is going to get a starting job in the NFL. It just won't be with them.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I haven't really thought about it.
The ADP right here for both of them is reflective of that they're both going to be starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, 23, 26, so yeah. Gino, right. I'm surprised Gino is so late. Do people think he's going to get benched or what?
No, I just don't think they were impressed with his performance last year.
Oh, well, that's dumb. Where's my boy, Daniel Dimes?
He's undrafted.
37. That's sad.
What a fall from grace. Going from round 20 last year to undrafted this year.
I had so much Daniel Jones last year.
You had a lot of him and Theo Johnson last year. Yep. Theo Johnson, another one that I actually don't like as the last round pick. He's essentially going undrafted as well.
You said you don't like him?
I do.
Oh, you said you don't.
Oh, sorry. Another guy that I do like as a last round pick, Theo Johnson.
What was his injury? It says foot.
I thought it was the eye, but I always mix him and Daniel Bellinger up.
Bellinger a couple of years
ago. I always mix the two of those guys. I don't actually. What was it? Was it his shoulder?
Foot surgery. Broken foot. Broke 5th metatarsal. I mean, that could be. He could be back for the beginning of the year.
He did. Didn't he do it like in like week 11, 12? I would imagine he's probably got to be fully healed by then, right? So that'll be almost 9 months.
Yeah, he should be. He should be good to go. He might miss like the summer stuff, but
right. So there are a couple guys that I like here at this spot.
Never heard of this guy.
Who?
Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden. He's another one. Not a fan of his game. Wide receiver. I'm not really that high on the wide receivers this year, honestly, or the running backs. Like I think Genty kind of. Honestly, I'm not saying this to be funny. I think Genty elevates the way people think about the running back class. Like, yeah, Genty is potentially a generational talent, the closest thing to Bijan since Bijan. But like other than that, Trayvon Henderson, he's kind of like a Walmart Kyron to me. He's fine. He's not a good passing downs guy, and he'll come off the field on third down because he's not a good pass blocker or receiver. That doesn't really excite me much, and I think he's the number 2 kind of consensus running back out there. I don't know. I just don't like that, like those slow running backs that are just like, 3.5, 4 yards a carry with no real explosiveness to the game.
Do you want to do Pearsall here?
Ricky Pearsall is the pick.
Okay,
that is who I liked, and then we'll take a quarterback.
Last round.
I know. No, I was just saying, like I think he's a great pick. Like Debo's not there, Ayuk's not Ayuk may not play the first couple weeks of the season. Like I'm hoping that what happens with Gibbs kind of happens with Pearsall, where like you can't put that back in the box once you see it, especially with how Pearsall ended the season with that dominant game against the Lions in Week 17.
Yeah, plus second-year bump is always expected, at least to some degree. So,
And I think Purdy likes him. Purdy was like hyper targeting him the last couple of games when there was nothing on the line.
So I would have liked Kyler there, but he just went. Any thoughts on?
I like Purdy.
Yeah, I guess we could just do the Purdy stack, just nice and simple.
Yeah.
All right, I don't hate this. I don't hate that. I like it.
Yeah, this isn't a bad team. And
these are 20 rounds though. Holy shit, I forgot about
that. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised to look at some of the tight ends that are going late. Like Dallas Goedert and Njoku, like these guys are all still on the board for the most part.
Tyler Warren goes to 85. Yep. That is wrong. He should be going in like the 4th round. That is crazy.
4th round? Like something earlier? Like
probably.
Is that the Penn State guy?
Yeah.
I will say he did impress me. He's the tight end. Like again, I don't want to give like Genty as like, oh, he's the best running back. Take him, because that's like stupid advice to give. But yeah, I only watched him yesterday. I was very impressed by what I saw.
Wait, Kyle Pitts is going to the 140s.
Yeah,
man, I think it might be time to give up on him. I was going to talk myself into it, but I think I'm done.
140 is a fine place to take a 0.
Cade Otton, that seems to be a good pick.
Cade Otton is a guy that I've drafted in one of my 2.
Henry, Zach Ertz, Cole. Okay, I like this range.
There's a nice range. I like the range above.
Wow, this is very inefficient. This seems wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I like Njoku and Goddard too. I think Njoku at like Kelsey? 104 is good value. Kelsey at 116. What's that? Kelsey at 116 is unclickable.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
He's not going to play.
Yeah, I don't think he's. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't take the risk yet. Feels like a unneeded risk.
Taking a 0 in the 10th round is not something you can afford, unless you just hit everywhere else. Which, if you're taking Kelsey in the 10th round, you're not hitting everywhere else.
I mean, even if he plays, like how much of a good pick is that? Really,
that's a great point.
I don't know. I think he just might be done. Like
he's done.
Even like if he still plays, I think he's done.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing after what we saw last year, the only thing keeping him that high is his name and his past production. That's it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some NBA playoff best ball after this. Do you know anything about the playoff situation?
Not a thing, but lucky for you. I understand now watching NFL best ball, like playoff best ball. I understand more of the game theory behind it. Like I looked at this when you told me that we were doing this today. I just wanted to see like who's the clear favorite from the East to make it to the finals.
There's not. It's kind of like Boston, Cleveland, and the Knicks are like the top 3, and then it's kind of a big tier break after.
And what about the West? Is there a clear-cut number 1 favorite?
Yeah, OKC.
Okay, so SGA should be going 101, correct?
He is, yeah. His ADP is like 1.5 because like some people are still taking Jokic over him.
Got it. But Jokic, that's a perfect example. Jokic is the Josh Allen of this year, and I'll talk more about that after the pick. I like Marvin Mims.
Okay, I could be convinced.
Marvin Mims is a guy that is
Where's Nick's going?
He probably already went.
Whoa, 85. That is shocking.
Yeah, him and Mahomes' ADP is insane.
Yeah, we'll do Mims.
I like Mims, and then we'll see who's available at the quarterback. I think Dak at 122, another great. Like we don't have any Cowboys, so not saying to take him, but I think he's a great value there.
We also don't know where the rookies are going to go, too. Keep that in mind.
That's true. I'd be surprised if the Cowboys took one, but
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, so Kelsey.
Right. My favorite pick on the whole board, you'll never guess.
Tyjae Spears.
How the hell did you know?
Because I like Tyjae Spears, so we're taking him if he comes.
We'll take him. Yeah, I like that. He is
He's
fact.
Good football player.
He's very good. He's very good. I put some numbers together. I just want to get this right.
We got some advanced analytics coming through. Kind of show is this.
I was prepared. So the last 3 weeks of the season, the last 3 weeks of the fantasy season, Tony Pollard did not play. He was injured, so he didn't play. Tyjae Spears averaged 19 half PPR points those last 3 weeks. People forget 24, 20, 12. Those are his last 3 numbers, his last 3 weeks, with the Titans. no split backfield committee. Like, there's not guys that you can put out there. Like, put out like a Javonte Williams. Like, you put out Javonte Williams in a non-committee backfield, he's getting you 12 points at the most. There's certain players are just very
At the absolute most, by the way.
at the most 2 touchdowns, touchdowns, a fumble, 10 yards. That's how he gets there. Like, there's certain players that like can just kind of like Tajay Spears to me is almost like Chase Brown last year. Explosive player. You know, you've seen bits and pieces of it last year or 2 years ago. Like, you saw the last few weeks of Chase Brown. This past season, you saw the last couple weeks of Tajay Spears kind of unleashed. So if Pollard loses a step, or if they increase Tajay Spears's role in that offense, which after the last couple weeks of the season, they'd be stupid not to, I think he's a great 11, 12 round pick.
Yeah, I was drafting a lot of Tajay Spears last year, especially early, and then I watched like the preseason game, and Tony Pollard looked way better than I expected, so I kind of cooled off there. But I did have a lot initially, which it seemed like a good read to stop taking Tajay, because it kind of was Pollard is like the 1A at that point. But I mean, neither of them were really like great picks. The Titans were just
Pollard was good. Pollard was consistent, not really he didn't have like that slate breaking weekly upside, but he did get you like 12 to 14 points a week.
Yeah, it's not going to do it in best ball though. That's the thing, because
no,
how many weeks is that usable?
Pollard, I'm looking at it right now. Pollard averaged 11.6 points per game.
Yeah, that's about what I expect.
Right. It's just crazy looking at some of the numbers for these guys, because I'm looking at like last year's scoring. It's just the running backs were just like unbelievable. Like, the running back 20 was Rachaad White with 174 points on the season. Wide receiver 15 had the same equivalent of AJ Brown last year. It's just like wild. Like, AJ Brown and Rachaad White scored the same number of fantasy points.
Also, just found this on Twitter. Someone posted the big board winner from 2 years ago. This is the one that had 0 rookies. And Cam Akers was the first running back taken. That's so funny.
Wow. Lamb had his big year. Lamb and Amon-Ra, those are the two guys you needed. That's the year I won our dynasty league.
Yeah. All right, we're on deck here. I like Anthony Richardson. I like it a lot.
I'll take Richardson. Did Josh Downs and Pittman go?
Pittman went.
Oh, Pittman did go? He's after.
Yeah, okay. I remember seeing him go. That's why.
Okay.
I have no problem taking him naked.
No. Well, you don't even have to take him naked. You could take Adonai Mitchell, who I also like.
Taylor too. Just remember that.
That's true. I'm okay with that.
All right, let's do it.
So,
yeah, from what I'm seeing, it seems best like either fully punt tight end or just get Tyler Warren. I'm sure he'll rise after the draft. Maybe not, because Brock Bowers didn't really rise, but he went to the Raiders, so everyone kind of it.
Bowers was, what was he, like an 8th round pick last year?
He was in the hundreds. Yeah, like I think he started 120 and then rose to like low hundreds.
Wow, wild. I wonder who that's going to be this year.
I just told you who it was.
Oh, okay. People like Tyler Warren though. Like, although people like Brock Bowers, they were saying he was a generational talent, and yet like the draft board was just not catching up to it fast enough.
Yeah, but he went to the Raiders.
Well, that's the thing. Like, drafting in these best ball in these big board contests, you have the benefit maybe of not knowing where they're going to not deter you from taking talented players.
That's true. It is interesting how like someone who like no one cares about will just like rise because they went to the Chiefs.
Right.
That's funny.
Now they may fall after the last year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So what are you thinking? We're on the clock in 2 picks. Is there a person or position you're interested in filling out?
I probably wouldn't do the Miami or the Minnesota.
I agree. We can push that. It's kind of like a dead zone here.
I do like Jake Ferguson. I like Cade Otton.
I like Cade Otton as well.
Do you prefer Otton?
I think we can get either. I think we could go Ferg and then hope Otton falls back.
All right, let's do Otton. I changed my mind.
Okay. If that's the case, we should have taken Bryce Young first and then hoped Otton came back to us.
We got like 20 picks, so
yeah, that's fair.
ADP doesn't matter anymore. It's late.
Yeah. Let's recap the team. So quarterback wise, we have Brock Purdy and Anthony Richardson. Purdy, consistent. Richardson, slate breaking weekly upside. We all know that. Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Quinshawn Judkins, Tajay Spears. So kind of a similar build to run, like the 4 running backs, like all kind of similar, like shifty, quick, explosive, big playability. I like that. I like that running back room. Wide receiver, we need some veterans here. We'll get some. Justin Jefferson, Tet McMillan, DK Metcalf, Luther Burden, Ricky Pearsall, and Marvin Mims, and then Kate Otten as our tight end 1. Honestly, I'm not really hating this team. It's a pretty
It's a little
pretty cool
weak at wide receiver, it seems.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's why I was like hesitant to take Bucky in the 3rd, but Bucky falling in the 3rd is pretty rare too.
It's an interesting angle, that not being a Giants homer here, but the Giants, it's like 99% confirmed that Slayton is not going to come back.
Yep.
The Giants see Wan'Dale Robinson as like a good number 2. So like, I think he's going too late.
Yeah, the problem with Wan'Dale is that like he's going to catch like 10 passes for 60 yards and he'll get you 9 points. Like if he doesn't score a touchdown, he's not going to hit your lineup.
Well, the idea is that hopefully like without Slayton, he'll have like a bigger, better role.
Maybe. I actually
also a bigger, better quarterback.
That's not going to be hard to do. I actually will take the opposite side of that. I like Darius Slayton. I think if he can get like a good if he's a wide receiver 2 on a good team and he's going in the last round, he's done nothing but
this is wrong. No one wants Darius Slayton.
Nobody.
That's crazy. He's going to get like $12 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's lock button. 100% of my teams, I'm having Darius Slayton. That's insane.
I'm a Darius Slayton guy. Like I've been a huge fan of his ever since he was with the Giants. I have him in our dynasty team. I called his breakout game last year against Seattle. It was glorious. But yes, he should be your last round pick almost every round.
That's crazy. That's wrong. He
gets undrafted most of the time.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's wild.
I mean, we could. What do you think about the Matthew Stafford's team? Did you see that? Stafford to the Giants?
I think he's going to stay with the Rams.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it seems very real.
I think it's real, but I think he'll wind up like after what he's seen with the Giants go through. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, you know what, I'm just going to stick with the Rams and try to win one more Super Bowl. I mean, they were literally a play away from beating the Eagles to go to the NFC Championship game. Like it's tough to walk away from that to go to the 3rd worst team in the league.
I mean, if you want to try and thread the needle a little bit, we could do like Shador and Wan'Dale.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted Wicks. That's what I was really hoping for.
Ugh, gross. I wouldn't let that happen.
Oh, Justin Fields.
Ooh. I'm not picking a backup quarterback again.
Shut up. He's not going to be a backup. You're tempted.
No, I'm not. I'm doing Shador. What are the odds that Justin Fields is a starting quarterback next year? 50%?
He's going to be the quarterback for the Steelers.
You think?
Yes. It's like widely speculated that Russell Wilson's speculative that Russell Wilson and then Fields go right after. Like that just hurts my heart. Because Russell Wilson, people are expecting Russell Wilson to go to the Raiders, and then they're expecting, because Rooney, the owner, said that they want to keep one of the two of them. Ipso facto, Justin Fields is the quarterback 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025.
Chad, is that real? I don't know if that's real.
That's real. Somebody from the chat, please back me up.
I don't know. I think that's wrong.
So I would consider either a tight end or a wide receiver here. Is Adonai Mitchell still on the board?
Or Henry. I kind of like Wan'Dale.
Is Adonai Mitchell still, or is Mitchell still on the board?
He is.
We could wait for him, I guess.
I'm
trying to stack him with Richardson.
We can hope one of those fall. Let's take a tight end then. Ertz or Schultz.
I like Schultz more.
Hope one of those receivers fall and be very upset.
Same. Hey, I didn't say to take the tight end. I said I wanted Mitchell.
Yeah, but I didn't want Mitchell. That was the wow. Braylon Allen's going way later than I thought. I think that's probably a good pick too. I didn't even.
When we were asked about Breece Hall from Andrew, I could tell you liked Braylon Allen because you said that you thought it was going to be more of a closer split than I think most people probably did.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to NBA playoff best ball, right? So I know you don't know ball, but any hot takes? What do you think of the Knicks? They have a chance?
Well, no, because
Karl Anthony Towns hater?
no, I love Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I'm a huge Kentucky guy. Every time I'm on this
true.
team, I say the same thing.
True.
But here's the thing. I know, is Thibodeau still the coach?
He is.
They will never make the playoff, never make the championship while he's the coach, because he will run those fuckers into the ground until they have no legs left. So what I would do is I would take a nick or two as an advance rate piece.
Whoa.
Just one or two as an advance rate, because they're going to play.
You'll never guess where they're going.
They can't be going in the first round.
Going in the first round.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, good. You know what? That's a good thing. That eliminates any of the teams that take them in the pool.
It's just Brunson and Cat in the first round, and then it's like, but who else do you want? Do you want like
Josh Hart?
Yeah, Josh Hart's fine. Yeah, that's fair. I'm okay with Josh Hart as an advanced piece.
That's crazy though. Like, that's insane. Like, that's basically drafting a team that has had no success since Patrick freaking Ewing, expecting them to beat teams that are far better than them in a contest that only rewards you for the length of time these players play. That's insane.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I have some questions. I'm going to start writing some questions down.
So our wide receivers are still falling now. Like Wandale's at the top of the queue, so if someone's autoing, or he's second from the queue, but if someone's autoing, they'll probably take him. But I'm guessing Mitchell will fall.
Which is honestly who I want more, so I'm okay with that.
I'm the opposite.
I don't think Wandale is somebody that like people are excited to draft. Like you saw, like last year, you kind of saw what he could do at the best, like 10 for 90 and a touchdown. Like that was, I think, his best game of the season last year, like in like week 3 or 4, if I recall. He's just not the kind of guy you want in a half PPR scoring format on an offense that you're not expecting to be a high-powered offense.
It's really an incredible stat line, though. 93 receptions for 700 yards. It's awesome.
Ridiculous. I mean, he earns targets, but he just can't earn them more than 5 yards down the field.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he like led the league in like separation or something like that. Some advanced stat.
I could see that. I hope Wandale goes so we can take Mitchell, because Mitchell's clearly the better pick on every level.
We'll do the RNG machine if they're both available.
No, I want you to die on the Wandale hill so you can remember it for next year.
Yeah, that's what I told myself last year. It didn't work. I
know, and you're going back to the well. So if you were doing this, who's your 101? I didn't ask you.
Wandale goes. Damn. Probably Chase.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But like that's also taking into consideration if I don't take Chase 101, I would have very little of him.
All else equal in a vacuum, 8% exposure for every player in the first 12 picks. Who's your 101?
I think probably Jefferson.
Jefferson is the correct answer. It's hard not to draft the best player 101, right?
Yeah. There's
not much else, not much more analysis that goes into that.
Never heard of this guy, Jalen Royals.
He is very, very fast, but he will not make the squad. Adonai Mitchell, come on down.
Alex says, I feel like Chase is a bad first pick. Wow, calling us out like that.
No, he agrees with us. You said Jefferson.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean Jefferson. That doesn't mean Chase is a bad pick. Like, Jefferson is like in my brain, he's projected for like 173 points, where like Chase is like 170.
That's fair. I will say,
is that really worth taking a stand? I don't know. Maybe
not necessarily. I mean, maybe it is. You're the Sims machine. If there's a guy that's projected for 12.1 versus 12.0, your Sims are taking the 12.1 guy every time.
Not necessarily.
How would they not?
It depends on like the rest of the team. Because if just taking the higher projected team isn't like gonna sim better. It's like all about like the combination of like players on the team
and the correlation, I guess, too.
Right, and the correlation. All right, let's see.
I have a player I like.
I don't like anyone.
You should like Mr. Kendre Miller.
Really?
I mean, Kendre Miller again reminds me of Tajay Spears, but just
Yeah.
injured all the time.
Yeah, we'll do the guy who scored fucking 50 fantasy points in his first 2 years in the NFL.
New coaching staff. Dennis Allen is dead. Good riddance, you bastard. He's done. It's Kendre Miller season.
All right, whatever. I don't agree, but
we also need bodies at running back.
That's fair.
And I think he's the best body available.
Do you want to hop in an NBA? Because I don't know how long it's going to take to fill.
I feel like that is going to snap fill.
All right, we'll wait a little bit then. We'll make our next 2 picks, then hop in, and then make the last pick like while we're doing NBA.
Sounds good. We are 17.
And I don't want to forget.
We are 17 picks away. If you guys are enjoying the content and you want us to continue to do these streams, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If you're new, we'll read them all. We respond to them all. Thank you guys for the support last year going into this season. Makes it even more exciting when you guys are in the chat with us drafting along.
And if you're new, our most interesting person, Anthony, isn't here. He's sick, and he's by far the most entertaining. So subscribe so you get to see Anthony next time.
I disagree.
I don't know.
All right. I will say Anthony does have the best, like, real NFL football takes. They always make me laugh.
That's to make them the best.
That's fair. He does entertain me the most. That's true. So
what do you think about quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Lamar, 3rd round?
Look at who you're passing up on to pick him, like to pick them. Like, yeah, you get a positional advantage of maybe like 4 or 5 points a week, but you're also sacrificing, I don't know, like I'd rather have Kyron and Marvin Harrison instead of. I don't
know. Marvin Harrison's not that inspiring. I think I'd rather have the quarterbacks.
Oh, really? See, I'm into last year, if you remember, I said he was the worst pick in the first round. A rookie going 110 is ridiculous, especially with what we saw, how that offense was run through Trey McBride. Like, you just kind of knew, some people knew, that it was not a Marvin Harrison pick. This year, I actually think Marvin Harrison at cost, all things equal, is a pretty good value. So I'm okay taking him in the late 3rd round here, early 4th. I think I think the risk is kind of baked into the price. And you're talking about players drafted at like their 50th percentile outcome versus their 95th. Like, drafting late Marvin Harrison in the 3rd is drafting him at his like 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Like, can he get more than that and pay it off? Absolutely.
Yeah, but to me, that thing, like, you also have to think about like someone else from the 3rd round is going to absolutely smash, and like you probably want them ahead. I just, if you think there's a chance Harrison can do that, I don't know.
There is. We've seen it before.
For like one game.
It happened in one game.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have trusted my instincts last year, because when I watched Marvin Harrison play in college, I wasn't that impressed. But everyone talked me into it.
He did look a little slow in college, like when I watched him, like his highlight tape coming out of Ohio State. But I thought it was just me.
Me too.
That was kind of the complaint with him this past season. Was like, but here's the other thing: like, the Cardinals didn't use him well. Like, they used him exclusively as like the X receiver on the outside, like 15+ yard A-dot. Like, that is not his game.
Is that going to change though?
I expect it to, because I think they saw what you have with him, using him that way, and I think they're gonna, if they're smart enough, they're gonna slightly tweak the playbook a little bit so that they can get him a bit more, easier targets that are less downfield.
Maybe.
I would rather bet on talent than not. I'll say that.
So just looking here, running backs I think are interesting. I think Marshawn Lloyd is probably pretty interesting.
Yeah, he's a mystery box.
He's probably like the clear running back 2 for them, right?
Probably. I do like Antonio Gibson as well, another guy that just produces.
That's gross. Go Marshawn Lloyd. And let's take. I really want Slayton. I don't really want to push him, so I think we should just take him next.
Slayton, you don't have to push him. You could wait until the last round, unless you don't want to.
I think we should just take him. I don't want to lose him.
Okay. And then after we make this pick, we can recap the team and then queue up an NBA best ball. So why don't you recap the team, because we are going to get Slayton here.
So we have Purdy, A-Rich, Sanders, JT, Bucky, Judkins, Spears, Kendre, Marshawn Lloyd, Justin Jefferson, Ted McMillan, DK Metcalf, Luther Burden, Ricky Pearsall, Marvin Mims, A.D. Mitchell, Cade Otton, and Dalton Schultz. And
It's not
Darius
a bad team. What's your preferred build on this? Like 3-6-8-3? Does it depend on the team? Like, would you ever want two of either the onesie positions?
I probably wouldn't build any teams that would be appropriate for. So I'm probably always just going to take 3 and 3.
I think
and whatever. It depends on draft capital for running back and receiver.
If I drafted Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, or like Josh Allen, Lamar, I would probably be more inclined.
Well, yeah, but I still think I'd rather just take 3, especially quarterbacks.
That's fair. Wow, Theo Johnson
nice.
goes.
Good pick, man.
Damn, that's who I was actually hoping for, because we could have set up like a 3 giant stack right there.
Yeah, that's true.
But
all right, let's hop into some NBA. Let's get after it.
Okay, don't miss our last pick. Cue up a couple random tight ends.
I have it up on the other monitor.
So to me, I think Tatum has to be ahead of Jokic.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but
you know what?
Agree.
You don't agree? How do you not agree? Boston's going to make the playoffs, make the finals.
Because if Denver makes the finals, then Jokic is going to outscore everyone.
But they're not going to.
I don't know. This is what everyone says, but it's like
I think Tatum is probably the best
player in the world.
Tatum is probably the best pick on the board because you'll get the best player coming back for the team that's going to make the finals. Like this, from a guy that doesn't watch the NBA, that just knows how the NBA works. Like Jason Tatum is by far the best pick on the board at 3.
Pretty sure I don't pay for ETR's best ball ranks for NBA, but I'm pretty sure they have Tatum at 102. So I think you might be onto something. I don't know.
I'm definitely onto something.
They just have the best chance to make the playoffs or make the finals other than OKC.
Whoa!
Oh my god, Sam, you fucking asshole!
Wait a minute. There's positions in this now.
Now the NBA has positions? Sorry. Yeah, that positionless league has positions. So yeah, you have to start one guard, 1 wing, 1 big, and then 2 flex.
I don't know anything about positions, so that is all you.
Yeah, the only thing you have to know is wing is pretty thin. So I can't believe Sam took Jaylen Brown. What a dick.
Why? They must have ETR. If they have Tatum at 102, they have to have Brown shortly thereafter.
All right, we got to pivot. We got a quick pivot here.
Why? Let's go Holmgren. We can't take a Nick because they're in the same conference.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
I know most of the NBA conferences.
Are you sure? I know them, and I don't even watch the sport.
The thing that's tough here is that we don't have SGA. We don't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So what?
He's going to be the number 1 player on OKC. I guess if it's OKC Boston.
Yeah, OKC Boston. That's what we're building for.
I don't know. It just feels pretty thin already. I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, how would you have pivoted? You can't take a Nick.
And then we don't get JW there. This guy's going to probably take Hartenstein. It's just this team's over. It's dead in the second round.
That's impressive.
Speed running dead.
And you know what we did? All we did was draw the 102 or the 103. That's all it took for the team to be dead.
No, the problem was that Sam took Jaylen Brown 104. That ruined everything.
That's fair. Also, what up, Seth? Thanks for hopping in.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm tilting. All right.
Ooh, John Morant.
We could do a little Memphis. I don't hate that.
Memphis sounds like fun.
But yeah, so it's similar to. Let me queue up Memphis and we'll talk through it. Let's see, this is the problem. What conference is Memphis in? I think
Memphis is in the West.
Yeah, I think they're the West.
I know they're in the West.
So with NBA, it's a little bit different than NFL because like the players who are projected for a lot of points are always going to score a lot of points. It's never like, oh, Noah Gray's never optimal. Like it's never going to be like, let's see.
Right.
Lou Dort is never optimal. You know, you're never going to use a score. Sorry. Hate to break to you, Lou Dort. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. But you do need to like have 5 live in the finals. So it's like,
oh, White goes. That sucks.
We could do Hartenstein.
That's a fun name. Former Nick,
legend. Yeah, I'm not liking this team too much though.
So what's the most optimal? Like last year, it was, or like in the
Oh,
NFL.
sorry, we're on the clock here.
Okay. Let's see.
De'Ami Brown
We
or
need another
Robbie
tight
Hall?
end, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Noah
Oh,
Fant,
that is
unless you
ugly.
want to go tight, unless you want to go rookie.
I don't want any of them. They all suck. All right, so there. That's good to know. There's like a dead period at tight end where it's like you don't want to wait all the way till the end.
Well, if we could have got Theo Johnson, I would have been
Oh,
okay
Jake.
with it.
It's probably a good cutoff. Yeah, that's true. Theo was the plan. I forgot about that.
All right, back to
Clock
NBA
here.
on the clock.
So Jaren Jackson goes, yeah, this team is fucking mega dead. But yeah, so the advance rate in this is 2 of 6 from the first round, and then 1 of 10. So the 1 of 10 is
Ooh.
the round that's really the one you want
The
to
tricky
optimize
one.
for.
Right.
So like that's why I don't overstack in this. It's like I'll take like 3 and 2 or 3 and 3 for my finals matchup, and then it's like 2, 2, 2, 2 stacks after that.
And now, do you even care about like the projected over under for the series for the different teams, or is it strictly like individual players that I think will score the most points every game?
Well, it depends because like last year the Celtics were so dominant. It was like whoever they're playing in the first round, they're going to sweep them. So like,
Right.
and that actually did matter. So like,
I'm
yes,
sure.
I am thinking about that, but not yet. Like probably as we get later towards it.
Okay. Do you want to do one more of these after we're done,
Yeah.
just so you can redeem yourself a bit?
Yeah. So we have 2 from OKC, 2 from Boston. So like we need 3 on like either side of that. So like it's kind of gross, but we maybe like Bane get the double stack and then kind of play around from there.
Yeah, like
Bane always project. Bane's like a high projection player, so like he'll be good no matter what.
What about like, I don't know, like Cade Cunningham? Wasn't he going at like the 105 every daily NBA slate? Like, why would you not want to take him on the chance that they could win the first series and then like give you like meaningful points in that 1 out of 10 advance rate in the second round?
Yeah, people don't like Cade.
Why?
They think Detroit is fake. I think Cade is a good pick. I've been taking a lot of Detroit. I've been taking a lot of Orlando too, with Banchero and Franz.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you've done these before then?
Yeah, I've done like 10.
Oh, okay. Anthony Davis, RIP.
So I do want to get at least one more from OKC or Boston before we continue.
I don't see why Cade's not the pick. Like these other guys are probably going to fall back to us now. At least one of them has to.
Do you prefer Pritchard or Caruso?
Pritchard's kind of a dog in the playoffs.
I kind of agree. Let's do Pritchard there, and then we can deal with the rest later.
Now, how many of each position do you have to start?
1 from each, and then 2 flex.
1 from each, and then 2 flex. Okay, so you could have 4 guards then, and it wouldn't matter if you start 3 of them, 2 flex, 1 positional.
Right. So, like, our playoff matchup right now is Drew, Pritchard, Tatum, Chet, and Hartenstein, which isn't promising because, like, people have this with Jaylen Brown instead of Drew Holiday.
Right.
They probably don't have Chet. Maybe they do.
Alex wants to know how are the Clipper prices. He feels like they're sneaky.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only one who likes the Clippers, but they're around the 30s, that's like the 7th round.
Wow, that's late for a team that could potentially make a run.
They're not a lock to make the playoffs, which is the problem. Another interesting one is the 76ers. You're not going to like this, but
no,
I do think it's interesting.
No, Embiid's going to have a knee surgery.
I feel like that this is like our path though, because
our team is so messed up.
Our team is so fucked. We just take because like we could do like the triple Philly stack with like Chet and Hartenstein on the other side.
But you're taking players that might not even make the playoffs.
That's
like
fine.
that, they're going to give you zeros. Cade Cunningham is still there. Cade is still there. Repeat.
All right, fine. We'll do it.
Yeah, why not draft the guy that gets you 50 points a game?
Sam, can't draft Dort, but Pritchard's okay. Yeah, the reason I drafted fucking Peyton Pritchard is because you sniped me. That's why I drafted fucking Peyton Pritchard, all right? Ever think about that? Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard from the mean streets of West Lynn, per Seth.
I don't know what that means.
It took me a minute to figure out what PP stood for, but I got there.
That's funny. Wow, I can't believe Sam called me out like that. That's crazy.
Oh, no. Jalen Duran, Red Sox.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox.
He says not nice things about certain groups of people, so we will take him.
Let's do it. Let's lock up the wing first. Let's get Thompson. This team sucks. This team is mega dead. Just throwing it out. Just like for anyone who wasn't sure, like, oh, this team's terrible.
And you know what? You know why it's terrible? Because we drew the 103.
The 103 is fine. The 104 is not what you want. So I'm about to hop in another one if anyone wants to join while we wait for our last pick.
Oh, this is our last. How many? Oh, is it 10 rounds?
It's 10, yeah.
Same as NFL then. So what's your preferred pick then from this? Like what's your ideal draft spot?
1 or 2.
That's kind of how it felt like in NFL playoff best ball too. I don't know if you felt the same way, like Josh Allen or who was the 102? Lamar. Like those were the two guys that felt like you wanted the most.
Yeah, and it turned out being Hurts. I think he was in the team.
Yeah, it turned out not being the two teams that were expected to lose to the Chiefs in the semifinals. Like, who would have thought? I couldn't believe my eyes.
Crazy. Yeah, so our path to the finals in this is either Detroit, OKC, or Boston, OKC. But if we have Boston, OKC, we're going to be min cashing anyway. So I guess we're rooting for Detroit.
Jalen Duran. Welcome.
Right. We got the 101 in this one. We're back.
All right, I'll let you do your thing. I'm just going to be here for a mental and emotional support. Oh, but Sam is in here too, so he may take.
He's going to take a Chet 3.
That's the correct pick.
But yeah, so it kind of lines up ADP wise, where like if you get SGA, you usually get Chet and J-Dub, so like that is very nice. If you don't get them, it's not great.
Right. So started out with SGA 101. It's funny. I feel like SGA was never like the 101, 102 in the weekly, in the like the daily NBA stuff from what I saw. But now in playoff best ball, he's the 101. It's just funny how that works.
They're just so much more likely to come out of the West than any other team, so it's hard to pass up. Even like they're like minus 150 betting odds. Like
wow.
Finals, I'm pretty sure I saw. Whereas
they're that good? You buy it?
I think that's bad. I think that Denver is more live than people are giving them credit for. But I do think that they're the favorite. So someone pick J-Dub.
So is this like a hope that you get Chet?
Yeah, I hope we get Chet or quick pivot.
I mean, there's so many Knicks that are available there too.
I mean, I wouldn't hate like double Knicks there.
No.
Okay, so we get Chet, but Nick gets taken.
So we'll take Chet. So we'll have SGA and Chet. Now the question is, where do we want our third round pick to go?
Probably an East player. We could do the Knicks. We could do the Cavs. The Cavs have better odds, but we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. But we do have SGA. We can get Garland, who are both guards. So that can be our guard scoring.
Okay.
And you're a Mobley guy, right?
I like Mobley. I like Brunson. Brunson, we saw the dog in the playoffs.
The wings are going to be weak because OKC doesn't really have another wing besides J-Dub.
Okay.
And DeAndre Hunter. I guess he's fine, but... All right. Let's do Cleveland.
Brunson, I mean, just looking at ADP, again, I have not done a single one of these, nor will I, but it seems like SGA and Brunson are frequently paired together just based on ADP. So... not taking him there might give you some sort of like a unique combo that, just from ADP falling.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because Brunson's ADP was like 6 or 7 last week.
Why did it change so much?
People wisened up.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like because they're the third team and like the people are enjoying the Celtics and the Cavs more recently.
Right. So no, it makes sense.
Garland goes, so that kind of sucks.
Wow. Sam said that he feels like he's drafting the same Boston-Memphis team over and over.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of Memphis too. I have a lot of Memphis. I have a lot of Orlando. Let me see. Let me check my exposures. I mean, I've only done 11, so I don't really know if that's meaningful or not. But all right, we might need to pivot to a different East team here.
Michael Porter.
Pacers are East. Is Hallie there?
East.
Hallie's still there. That can help us with a wing too.
I'm okay with that if you are. You're good to pass on Caruso even though he's with OKC?
Yeah. Caruso would be later. Would be way later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's do Hallie and Siakam.
Now, is Hallie going to have home field advantage in the playoffs?
That is very important. I don't know. I think they're the 4 seed, 5 seed, something like that.
Okay, so maybe they'll have it for one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the 4 seed currently. They're 1 game ahead of the Bucks.
Gotcha.
Let me see my exposures. Holy shit, I have a lot of Franz. I have 63% Franz.
Wow. And this is not. 10. And you always draft. You always use ETR for NBA. This is now just like game theory and experience of doing the daily NBA stuff, correct?
Yeah, you kind of know who projects well, so like it doesn't really. You don't really need the projections because you just know from playing every day.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of Memphis too, Sam. I have a lot. I'm curious though if I have any Boston, Memphis. See, the problem is I don't name these. Oh well, we'll do that later. That's a later problem.
So to recap the team, we have SGA, Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Holmgren, and Mobley. I don't know if this is good or bad, but we have 2 from OKC, 2 from Indiana, and a naked Mobley.
Yeah, so here's kind of the bet we're making that. So there are teams with SGA, Chet, and Jalen Williams. So we're betting that basically that Siakam outscores Jalen Williams in the finals.
That doesn't seem totally outlandish.
No, it's not. And then we get Miles Turner on the way back, and then we start taking like advanced pieces.
So you're a big LeBron guy, or is this not like with the trade with Luka? You're out on the Lakers?
No, I think they're fine. I just take them 6-7. When I get to 6-7, I'll take Luka and LeBron because that's kind of where their ADP is.
Gotcha. Kind of just falls that way, I guess.
So we could do Miles Turner. Well, that's what we're gonna do. And then like I said, I like Orlando, so I've been taking a lot of Paulo.
No interest in Kawhi.
That's the other one I was going to say. That's okay.
No Curry.
It's probably best to take. I like Curry.
Curry's a couple down.
Probably best to do another West team because we're gonna have 3 from the Pacers, so we can do like
Curry's West.
Yeah. Let's get
not that I'm advocating for him. I was just surprised to see him so far down.
I think Curry. Let's do the Warriors. We'll do a double with the Warriors. With Jimmy.
Wow. Are the Warriors not even expected to make the playoffs? They can't not be at that price.
They're borderline.
Ooh, that seems like good value.
They're in the play-in right now.
Oh, so how does that work with the play-in then? Does that count towards your total or not?
Play-in doesn't count.
Oh, that's stupid. That would add a whole interesting wrinkle into this thing.
That would suck. That would be terrible. Another team that I like
at least a couple players dead every round.
Apparently I'm fake sharp for this, but I like Phoenix. No one else seems to like Phoenix.
Phoenix seems to be a very dysfunctional team from the limited media coverage I watch on SportsCenter.
All I'm saying is don't look at their record when their big 3 is healthy.
Who's the big 3? KD, DeAndre Ayton?
No. He's on the Trailblazers and he sucks.
Oh, you never draft a 7-footer from Arizona. I say it every year. Never.
That's true.
Who's the third besides Booker?
Bradley Beal, the only other guy with a no trade clause.
Oh, fun. Yeah, there you go.
Fun fact. There you go.
Nice.
Your favorite player's fun fact.
That is he's a player's player.
Yeah.
He's a pro's pro. I love that. A pro's pro. What the hell does that even mean?
I'm curious. Let's see what Sam is doing here. So he has Boston. He has 4 from Boston, White and Drew.
Wow. 4 from Boston seems pretty good to me. Don't take anything I say as if it's meaningful, but that just feels right.
Never do. Don't worry. So our plan is going to be, if you're good with it, Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant, because we do need wing points.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I mean, if you tell me I can get Kevin Durant as a wing, even if he gets first rounded, he'll still put up good points while he's there, just as an advance rate piece.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Are we like Siakam? Like, yeah, he scores points, but like in the first and second round, like he's probably gonna be outscored by a good amount of the field's wing players. So it is
Right.
important to have like if the Phoenix Suns make it, Kevin Durant's gonna score a lot of points.
No Banchero. He scores a lot of points.
Yeah, I'd rather try and get Booker on the way back though, because like I said, we have 3 from Indiana, so like we'll play the 2 stacks on the West.
Okay, makes sense.
That's like I said, that's how I do most of my teams. I do a lot of like 3 on one side and then like a bunch of 2s and then like a 1-off sometimes. Fuck, this guy took Jimmy Butler. That's so annoying.
Can we take Draymond?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. Yeah, we'll do Draymond and damn, that's annoying. I guess we could also do Kuminga.
Who's Kuminga?
You don't know Kuminga?
No.
I
Never heard of him.
think I prefer Kuminga. He's more of like he's like their isolation offensive player. He's hurt though.
Oh, you love the hurt guys. Go ahead, take them.
Let's take Booker first, and then whatever one falls, we'll get. We'll play
I like that.
way.
These are fun. They go so fast compared to the.
I know it's so much better.
I did the what is it, the little board on the Stairmaster a couple days ago. I flew by that Stairmaster. I didn't even know what time it was by the time I was done. I was like, holy crap, I just did it for 45 minutes because that's how long those drafts take. It's crazy.
Yep. So see, Sam knows ball. He's doing Orlando. Ball knower.
Right. Banchero was definitely the pick. I mean, he's the guy I know.
Sam, if you're still in here, what do you think about 76ers?
He's not gonna like the Sixers.
No, he knows ball. He will. That was a discussion in the Discord today. I'm pro 76ers.
Are you?
I am. I'm like, why take them in the 6th round in a month when they're locked to make the playoffs? Just take them now. And then like the
you sincerely think they're a lock to make? If you think they're a lock to make the playoffs,
no,
then
no,
you should definitely be taking
I'm not saying. I'm saying when like if they do go on a run, they're gonna rise up. All right. Well, I'm fucking stupid then. So.
So is drafting the Sixers like drafting like what I wanted to do with Cincinnati? Like,
yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't do it.
They're the Bengals. They're exactly the Bengals. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
This is what Chip said too. He's a Sixers fan. He said they're more likely to tank and sit everyone than to try and make the playoffs. So interesting.
I don't know how the draft compensation and stuff works.
I think they have like
a lottery,
that's like lottery protected.
Got it.
So if they don't make the playoffs, they keep their pick. If they do make the playoffs, they lose it.
Are the Spurs also, I'm guessing, not expected to make the playoffs?
Yeah, they're like the Bengals too, but they're not like they're fine. I just don't think like they're gonna win playing games plus win a playoff series. It's just very thin.
What about Atlanta?
Like, the Sixers, if the Sixers make it and Embiid's healthy, like they could definitely make it. They could definitely make a run.
What about Atlanta? They're not good. I hear a lot about Trae Young.
Trae Young's a fraud.
Oh, Trae Young's a fraud. Oh, okay, sorry.
He's a fraud. They also lost Jalen Johnson, who's their big wing player.
Done for the year?
Yeah, he had labrum surgery.
Ooh.
Books have the Heat a lot more likely to make it. Never count out Spo to win a series. Yeah, that's true. That is a good point. I have no Miami, which feels bad.
Oh, is Miami? Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants him.
Wow, nobody wants any of them.
And the problem is only like 2 of them actually score fantasy points. Bam.
Right.
Here. Also, Khalil Ware might come on too. I don't know why he's below all these guys.
Because that's where they had the fake projection numbers fall out.
Do you want to tie break Kuminga or Draymond? Should we do RNG?
I hate Draymond. Let's do Draymond.
All right. Let's do Draymond.
Because we already have Steph.
Jimmy Butler. I really wish that was Jimmy Butler
instead of Draymond.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting team.
Like I said, so we have the 3 Indiana guys, and then it's like either Golden State with Curry and Draymond, or Phoenix with Durant and Booker. Pretty thin, or OKC. We have OKC with SGA and Chet. That seems okay.
It's just funny how like, and I understand why it's like this, but NFL best ball is like, oh, you have to take Ty Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell in the last round, because if they have like a 3-yard carry, it's like, wow, you're going to just vault over 90% of the people that don't have them. Here, it's like you want 5 total pieces in the game, and you want as many advance rate pieces as you can to get to that point.
Right. It's just different in NFL because like someone projected for 4 points can score 15, whereas like especially in the playoffs, if you're projected for 20 points in the regular season, that's probably 15 in the playoffs because the rotations are tighter. It's just the higher usage guys get higher usage. Everything's a little bit tighter.
Right. Well, how about we finish it by rounding out Sam Olson's team? Give him a quick little review. What do you think?
So Sam has Tatum, Porzingis, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and then a bunch of one-offs with John Morant, Damian Lillard, Şengün, Jalen Green, Paulo, and Van Vliet. Oh, he does have a Houston stack. I didn't even see that.
So he's doing Houston, Boston.
Yes.
Is that what do you think that is? Houston even?
I
didn't really. I thought Houston was like the worst team in the league. Wasn't that true like a year ago?
They're young and fun.
Young and fun. Wow, that can be a phrase said for a lot of things.
Yeah, it can.
Young and fun. Interesting. Okay, hey, I didn't know. I thought I remembered Houston a couple of years ago was like 7-51 or something.
Yeah, they were pretty bad, but they're really, really good on defense. No one can score on them.
Interesting. Cool. It was fun.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Probably be back next week. We'll see what our schedules are like. Probably the same kind of thing. Big boards and NBA playoff best ball. If you like the content, subscribe, toss us a like. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.